You ever been to a place that looks absolutely perfect, but something about it just feels off? Like there's a secret hiding underneath all that beauty? For me, that place was a resort, a gorgeous coastal building that never actually opened its doors, just sitting there, untouched, waiting. I work as a photographer's assistant, nothing fancy. I mostly handle lights, set up tripods, and carry extra gear. Every shoot feels the same. Bright studio lights, fake smiles, same boring setup. I love photography, but the routine was killing me. So when my boss Daniel said, "Let's try something different this weekend," I was down for it. Daniel's a perfectionist, but he's kinda impulsive too. Sometimes he picks random spots just for the thrill of it. That day, he spun his laptop around and said, "Check this out. Found an abandoned coastal resort. Never opened, just built and left." The photos looked unreal. Right on the ocean, white balconies, palm trees bending in the wind. I laughed and said, "Cool, as long as it's not haunted." He just smirked, didn't say a word. I thought he was joking, but there was this strange curiosity in his eyes, like he wasn't just going there for the shoot. I didn't realize it then, but behind that one smile, something was already waiting for us. We got there late afternoon. The sun was melting into the horizon, throwing gold across the sea. The air was cool, but the salty smell was thick, like the ocean itself was breathing. From a distance, the resort looked perfect. White walls, glass balconies, a faded sign that said Coastline 12 Kilometers Resort. But the moment we pushed open that heavy iron gate, a cold gust came out. The air inside smelled different: damp wood, seaweed, and something old. When we stepped into the lobby, our footsteps echoed like the whole building was reacting to us. Broken glass covered the floor, a shattered vase sat in the corner. But one thing stood out: a tiny beach ball, red and yellow stripes. Looked brand new. I asked Daniel, "Dude, how'd this ball end up here? No one comes here, right?" He shrugged. "Probably a prop or something left behind by tourists." I laughed it off, tried to ignore it. But something about that ball made me uneasy. It felt like it was watching us. We started going upstairs, floor by floor. With every step, the air got heavier. The walls were damp, the paint peeling, covered in thin layers of salt. Every time we walked down a hallway, the wooden floor creaked, and the echo made it sound like someone was following a few steps behind us. On the second floor, one door was half open. Daniel pulled out his camera, and I switched on my flashlight. Inside, everything was damp, curtains ripped, wallpaper rotting with green fungus. In the center, a puddle. Across it, a big mirror. Fogged up, like someone had just breathed on it. I got closer, and right there, written on the fog, one word: stay. I turned to Daniel. He was already lining up a shot, and said, "Creepy, but aesthetic. Let's shoot it." I just stood there. The air felt alive, like something invisible was moving around us. For a few seconds, there was total silence. But even that silence felt alive, like the building was listening. In the middle of the shoot, my flash kept turning off. I thought maybe the battery was loose, but it was full. The light blinked, flashed once, then died completely. Daniel smacked the camera and groaned. "Man, this place is killing the vibe. Everything's damp, must be the humidity." But I wasn't buying it. The air had turned colder, not like a breeze, but unnaturally cold, like an AC kicked in somewhere. And there was no power here. I walked to the window for some air. Outside, the ocean shimmered in silver light. And then I saw it. Far down the beach, a wooden structure. I zoomed in, an old lifeguard tower, half broken, rusted, probably abandoned, just like the resort. But then I noticed something, a shadow moving behind the glass. A human shape. Daniel asked, "What are you looking at?" I whispered, "Someone's out there." But we both knew. No one's been here in decades. No one could be there. We finally made it to the terrace. The air felt weird, cold but heavy with this old, rotten smell. The sea was calm below, but somewhere inside the resort, we heard faint knocking, random, uneven, like one knock, then two. Daniel adjusted his camera and said, "Probably just the wind. Old place like this makes sounds." But that wasn't wind. I pulled out the zoom lens again, focused on the lifeguard tower. It looked the same. Except the shadow wasn't moving anymore. It was frozen, standing there in the glass. A human shape, dark and still. I adjusted the focus, and for 1 second, it looked like its arms were raised, almost waving. I zoomed out, and that's when a chill shot down my spine. In the edge of the frame, I caught a reflection, the resort's broken mirror. And in that mirror, the same dark silhouette. Just for a second. One frame. I dropped the camera. Daniel asked, "What happened?" I didn't answer. I just knew. It was inside now. We didn't say a word, just packed our gear in silence. The air inside the resort felt heavier, like the building was whispering or warning us to leave. Daniel zipped up the camera bag and muttered, "Let's call it a day." He didn't sound mad, just tired and scared. As we walked through the lobby, I noticed something. That beach ball was gone. Only a damp circle remained where it had been. My chest tightened, but I stayed quiet. The moment we stepped outside, the air felt lighter, like the building had stopped pressing on us. The car started, tires screeched softly against the wet sand. I looked back once through the rearview mirror. The resort stood there, completely still. Then, one window flickered with light. Once, twice. Then, total darkness. We never talked about it again. Never went back. But people say when the tide's low, you can still see a single camera flash from the terrace. Just one burst of light. Then silence. You ever see a light in a building that feels like it's watching you? For me, that moment was at Shoreline Resort, that porch light on the Atlantic coast. The place had been shut down since the 1980s, but that one light, it still blinked like it never got the memo. I'm Jenna, a freelance urban explorer and part-time YouTuber. I hunt down places where life used to exist, but now it's just wind and memories. Old diners with dried-up coffee stains, motels with half-dead neon letters, and boardwalks where only gulls scream now. I like those places, they carry stories in their silence. This time I decided to explore an old resort off the coast of Maine, Shoreline Resort. Word was, it was built back in the 90s, but never opened. Nobody really knew why, just rumors of project abandoned. Locals don't even like saying its name. My plan was simple, spend one night there, grab some B-roll, and dip by sunrise. I checked my gear, flashlight, tripod, camera batteries, all set. I'm not fearless, just a little too curious for my own good. And that night, when I parked near the shoreline gate, the air had this weird mix, salt, rust, and something else. That's when I first thought, maybe curiosity brought me somewhere I shouldn't be. Getting to the resort wasn't as easy as I thought. The coastal road was narrow, sea grass on one side, steep cliffs on the other, wind screaming through like it had a grudge. By the time I reached Shoreline, the sun was sinking. Everything was covered in this golden glow, but underneath that calm beauty was a strange emptiness. Old beach chairs were half buried in sand, like someone left in a hurry. Above the porch hung a broken neon sign, Shoreline Resort. Half the letters flickered, half were dead. I pulled out my camera, took a few drone shots, then set up my tent by the dunes. The air smelled like salt, seaweed, and damp wood. Everything felt peaceful, just waves crashing and distant gulls crying. But when night fell, I noticed something. A small light blinked on the porch, just for a second. I thought it was a lens flare. Then it blinked again, same rhythm, same spot. Like someone was signaling from inside. I set up my tripod and switched to night vision. The whole place turned ghostly green. Shattered doors, ripped curtains, that one flickering bulb on the porch. Everything looked off. I adjusted my mic gain so every little sound would be captured. A wave hit hard against the shore, spraying cold salt air. Then I heard it, a low creak from the left side of the resort, like a door hinge moving. I froze. The generator was off, and I had checked the wiring myself. No power anywhere. But that porch light kept blinking, same exact rhythm. I kept recording and zoomed in. For a split second, something moved, a faint silhouette, like it was formed out of the light itself. It walked down the corridor, but didn't cast a shadow. I adjusted the focus. The screen glitched, froze. I checked the playback. Nothing. Just waves and the sound of wind. Like whatever it was only wanted to be seen live, not recorded. I figured it was just a camera glitch, maybe fog, maybe static. But when I replayed the clip again, I caught something else. Between two blinks, a whisper came through. A single word. Come back. I froze. My heart started pounding. I rewound. Turned the volume all the way up. Slipped on my headphones. Nothing. Just silence. No hiss. No distortion. Like that voice never existed. I grabbed my flashlight and walked up to the porch. My own footsteps were clear in the sand, but every third step, it sounded like someone else was walking with me. Same rhythm. Same pace. There was an old table near the corner, maybe where a guest book once sat. On top of it, a cracked mirror covered in dust. I leaned closer, and the porch light blinked again. In that flicker, I saw a reflection, someone standing in the doorway. Not clear, just an outline. Next blink, gone. Just me. And that mirror, filled with darkness. I picked up the camera and slowly stepped closer. Between flickers, I noticed smudges on the glass, fingerprints. Fresh, like someone had just touched it. My hands went cold, and the air turned dead still. No wind, no sound, just that faint ocean hum. Below the mirror was a damp handprint, smeared like someone had pressed from the inside. I leaned in, and the light blinked again. That's when I saw it. A figure at the far end of the porch. Perfectly still. Shoulders tilted, face blurry, but I could feel it staring at me. Silent. Cold. The light went out. Next blink, gone. Empty porch. I looked at my camera screen, my hands shaking. When the playback loaded, my heart stopped. The figure wasn't outside. It was inside the mirror. Its reflection stood frozen, like it had been trapped in there. And with every blink, it was getting clearer. I didn't waste a second. Folded my tripod, stuffed my gear, and jumped in the car. The sound of the engine felt like the sweetest thing ever. When I looked in the rearview mirror, Shoreline Resort was just a shadow against the horizon. One single light blinking on the porch. Once. Twice. Then nothing. I told myself it was over. Maybe a power surge, something explainable. Even when I edited the footage later that week, I kept the same logic. Every clip looked normal. Waves, empty chairs, tent shots. All good. But then, when I paused one frame, that porch light blinked again. Same rhythm. Same beat. No ambient sound. I zoomed in, and between two blinks, a faint outline appeared. Someone standing right inside that porch. Even now, when the Atlantic wind howls through the night, I see that light flash in my mind. Maybe no one was ever invited there. Or maybe someone's still waiting to come back.